Victor walked through the skeletal remains of the abandoned Carnival. The wind howled through rusted iron, carrying the scent of dust and forgotten applause. He was a man chasing a ghost, the ghost of a career that had never truly begun. Desperation led him to the shadows of a boarded booth. Inside, sitting alone on a velvet stool, was Marcus, a wooden puppet carved from dark oak, with glass eyes that seemed to track the light. A voice like grinding stones emerged from the gloom. The old Carnival owner warned him. Marcus wasn't just wood. His jokes had a weight. He said the jokes came true. Victor scoffed, pulling a $20 bill from his pocket. For that price, he was willing to risk a curse. Back in his dimly lit studio, the air grew cold. Without Victor touching the strings, Marcus's painted mouth began to clatter and move. A raspy joke filled the room, mocking Victor's empty bank account. The laughter felt like a needle under the skin. Then, the phone rang. It was the break he'd prayed for. A high-paying gig at a major theater. Success followed Marcus like a dark shadow, growing longer every day. The jokes became bolder. A rival critic, known for his cruelty, was suddenly fired after Marcus quipped about his professional demise. Victor's pay tripled. The world was at his feet, but his girlfriend Lena saw the cracks. She saw the way Marcus watched them both. "Victor," she whispered, "this isn't luck. It's a debt being collected." But Victor was drunk on the applause and the newfound wealth. In a moment of spite, Victor asked Marcus for a joke about Gary, his most hated rival. The puppet's eyes gleamed with unnatural light. Marcus whispered a dark punchline about a cold grave and a missing pulse. The next morning, the headlines confirmed the unthinkable. Gary was dead. Victor stared at the puppet. The painted grin seemed wider, the teeth sharper. The horror of what he had unleashed finally settled in his chest. Lena begged him to burn the thing, to walk away before the comedy turned into a tragedy for them. Victor hesitated, and that was enough. She left that night. Marcus laughed, a sound like dry leaves skittering on a tombstone. He told a joke about Lena's departure. The punchline, Marcus whispered, would arrive tomorrow. Panicked, Victor ran to Lena's apartment, but he found nothing but an empty room. He returned home and grabbed a hatchet, but the puppet's strings moved like snakes, wrapping tightly around his wrists, pulling him close. Searching through old records, Victor discovered the truth. Marcus had once been a man, a performer who traded his soul for eternal fame. Now, Marcus offered a new deal, a swap. Victor's soul for Marcus's freedom, or Lena would become the subject of the final joke. Victor realized the curse relied on the puppet being the storyteller. "Tell a joke about yourself, Marcus," Victor commanded, his voice trembling. Marcus hesitated, then spat out the words, "I am nothing but a puppet." The logic of the curse imploded. The truth was the ultimate weapon. With a thunderous crack, the light faded. Marcus collapsed into a heap of lifeless wood. The malevolence was gone, leaving only splinters. Victor returned the remains to the Carnival owner. The old man nodded, eyes heavy with the weight of secrets he could never share. Years passed. Victor still performed, but his show was different. He used his craft to tell stories of hope, far from the dark stages. One morning, he found a new carving on his workbench. It was his own face, captured in wood, with a peaceful, knowing expression. But at the old Carnival, in the booth where it all began, a single wooden string still hangs, trembling when the wind blows just right. The funniest joke is the one we tell ourselves. Ambition has a price, and sometimes, the puppet is the one holding the strings. If you like these kind of scary flicks, subscribe, follow and comment for more. Tell us, what would you trade for fame?